Welcome back to Tanya in Lesson 5. The last 2 days we've been studying Chapter 8. Having established in Chapter 7 that something which God forbids in His Torah, then that action or that item remains in its ungodly, impure state. And things, actions, behaviors in this world that are permitted by Torah law, then it depends on me and my intention when I engage in those actions to either elevate it to a holy state, eating for the sake of nourishing myself so I can serve God, or my intention in the negative sense will make that item or that action descend into impurity. I'm engaging this for overindulgence or for lust. The Alter Rebbe in Chapter 8 now adds one crucial element within this whole picture, and that is every action, every word I speak, every thought I have, everything I eat, everything I engage in, all of that comes together to make the totality of me. My body is a conglomerate of everything I've ever eaten. My mind is a conglomerate of all the things I've studied, learned, and thought. My consciousness, my whole self, is a conglomerate of words I've said, things I heard, actions and experiences I've engaged in. And as such, each of these actions, each of these words, each of these thoughts, and each of the food items that I've eaten, everything I've consumed, whether literally food or consumed in my mind, through my eyes, through my ears, all of these things leave their mark on me. If those things are holy, if the food I've eaten is with holy intention, if the behaviors were good and godly behaviors, then it leaves a godly mark on me. If, God forbid, the opposite, it leaves a negative mark on me. If I've eaten non-kosher food, God forbid, even if it wasn't on purpose, but that impure food is now part of me, and therefore I must go through a cleansing process in life after death before my soul can ascend to return to be one with God. This, the Alter Rebbe explains, is what hell is in Jewish thought. It's not punitive, in which God is punishing you for bad things you've done. It's a cleansing process the body and soul has to go through to shed itself of all the negative experiences or all the ungodly experiences it's accumulated throughout its life. Whether it be food, thought, speech, some action, some behavior, some experience. If they're ungodly and unholy, then the soul and the body has to go through a cleansing process to shed itself of that negativity, of that ungodliness, before the soul can reunite with God in the life after death. And this leads the Alter Rebbe to one final, very crucial point. Because everything I consume, whether through my mouth, eating, or in my mind, some sort of content or idea that I consume, because it all becomes part of me. Therefore, when it comes to studying ideas, philosophies, sciences, math that are outside of the purview of Torah, one must be very cautious. Just as it is with food, as we explained in Chapter 7, that I can eat food with the intention of being gluttonous, or I can eat food with the intention of nourishing myself so I can serve God. The same thing is true of consuming secular studies, non-Torah studies. I can do it with the intention of being able to learn better, because if I understand certain sciences, I'll understand certain parts of Jewish law better. I can study those sciences because I want to make a better living, so that I can live better and therefore serve God better, in which case all of that study will have been elevated. Or I can study those secular studies with the intention of just me promoting myself, in which case the impurity that I have ingested is not just in the body as it would be with food, but goes to the mind. And it's a much more sensitive part of who I am. And therefore, when engaging in the study of secular studies, one must be extra cautious to make sure that the intention and motivation is correct, so that it doesn't have a negative impact on the very deepest part of who I am, my mind. The takeaway from all of this is, every time I consume anything, an action, a behavior, an experience, food, or an idea, I must be considerate of the fact that that action becomes part of who I am. And do I want that item to be part of who I am? See you when we conclude Chapter 9.